Hello, Dynious here. I'm going to show you the new features added after version 1.0.1 of Refined Relocation. I'm first going to set up a little sorting system, so 2 chests. I'm going to set this one to whitelist all ores and this one to whitelist all ingots. And it works just like the old versions. If I'm going to put ores in here, it's not going to appear here, but in this chest, because this is sorting on all ores. Well, you have seen the sorting connector before, it was already in there. If you don't want any chest in here, this will just connect the sorting system up. So I can put a chest here and set this to all logs. And if I now add wood, not a wood, and let's say in here, it's, what did I do? I probably blacklisted it, yeah. I'm gonna put it in here, it's gonna show in here. Well, a new item added in 1.0.1 is the sorting interface. What this does is basically adds a block to the sorting system that isn't part of it. So what you could do, for instance, is get a normal chest or any other thing with an inventory, and this will be added to the system. Well, it isn't a sorting chest, but this has a sorting interface. And we can, for instance, say all building blocks are going to go into the thing next to the sorting interface, and that's this block. It will ignore other sorting sorting system blocks. So if I now put cobblestone in here, it's not gonna appear in here, not in here, and not in here, but in this chest. A new block that's going to be added in version 1.0.3 is the sorting importer. Let's place it here. It's also part of the sorting system. And if we click on here, we see this weird interface. This is a place to import blocks. So let's say I'm gonna add a chest in here. It's not gonna go anywhere. Why? Well, we don't have any blacklisting chests in here, so it will not accept it and it will go into this inventory. Well, let's add a blacklisting chest, just like this. This will blacklist. So if I now put the chest in here, it's gonna appear in this chest. Okay, well, you can see I have all kinds of copper in my inventory and I don't like that. I want them all to be the same when I add it to the system, obviously. I don't want separate stacks for all these all this copper. So what I can do is set a copper in here, and in the chest, in the slot that it's light, and it's gonna open another slot, and you can add an infinite amount of items in here. And as you can see, it didn't take the item but just added it here. Now every other type of copper ingot is gonna be converted to the forestry copper if it's gonna be added into this block. So if I just add it in here, well, that's the same, but right, it's gonna go in here. If I add it in here, nothing happens. But if I now add it in here, all this copper, as you can see, it's all the same copper now. So that's super useful for, well, feed the beast back with 10 times of different copper and stuff. And you can just add anything. I mean, things that don't have an, oops, as you can see, you can also right click the block with items and it's gonna put it into the sorting system. That's not what I wanted to do. You can add anything, but things that don't have a or dictionary thing will not be accepted in here. I can click all I want, but it's not gonna go in here. So let's say I want tin, and I want tin ore. You can see all the types of tin ore. I'm gonna add this here. It opens up another slot, and now any type of tin ore added to this thing will be all converted to the same thermal expansion tin. Super useful. I've got a little thing. If you're gonna try to add another type of copper, it's not gonna accept it. So anything that is already registered is not gonna be able to add in here, but you can replace them. So another thing that's gonna be added in version 1.0.3 is the power limiter. I'm gonna make a little setup here. A redstone energy cell, a conduit, another redstone energy cell, but this one is empty, and a power limiter. So now this is gonna output the energy from this side into this energy cell, and it's outputting the max amount. Well, this can change it. You can see the max energy throughput, and it's set to RF. Well, I can make this 200, and now this is going to accept 200. if I make this 2, it's gonna accept way less. So let's see, 2. And as you can see, it adds it slowly. Well, I can also make this 1 and it's gonna be even slower. Or I can make this a whole lot and it's gonna accept a whole lot of power. So if you want to limit a system with the amount of power it gets, this is very useful for that. But there's more. You can also disable all the power by shift right clicking on the block. Now this is going to not get any power at all. Or you can get a lever or any other redstone signal, and when it's applied, and when it's applied, it's also gonna disable the power throughput. So you might think, for what blocks is this useful? Well, for example, the thermal fabricator always needs a lot of power to keep running. We have this setup and it's eating all the power from this, and maybe you don't want it running, you can just shift right click and it's disabled and not getting any power anymore. Super useful. Or you could always add a lever and do this. And now it's really disabled. So let's see. The other thing you can see is that it's not able to change the output from the MJ. Sadly, that's not possible with the Megajoule, and just how the API works. You can only do this with the RF, EU and the universal electricity power, not with MJ, sadly. So you might think, what happens when I have a block that can accept multiple types of energy? Well, there you have the button. You can switch between EU and RF for this thing. So that's basically the power limiter, and I think that was all the new items that were added into Refined Relocation after version 1.0.0 up to 1.0.3. So, and in addition to that, there's a lot of bug fixes. You can still get a linker and disguise these blocks. So do this, all these, but the power limiter cannot do that because it's not part of this the system. So do this and this, it's gonna be disguised and you don't see anything. So I hope you enjoyed the spotlight. Version 1.0.3 will be live very soon, and please enjoy the mod. Bye.